Hello guys, welcome to Co Academy. Guys, in this video we'll be talking about yet another very important concept in economics and finance, and that is what is agency problem and the allied concept of what is agency cost. Now, let's start with defining the agent. Now, who is an agent? Remember, if I hire somebody to do a particular job for me, then that particular somebody who is doing the job for me is my agent. He is doing something on my behalf and I am the principal. That is, the relationship between me and that particular somebody is that of principal and agent. The common example is in the case of public companies, the example of shareholders and management. Now, the shareholders own the company; they are the owners of the company, so they are the principals. That is, it is their interest that the company performs well and it earns profits, and ultimately their share prices will increase. But of course, shareholders do not have the expertise to do it themselves. So what they do is that they hire managers to run the company for them, and they expect the managers that they will run the company in their interests, so that their share prices will go up and they will benefit from it. So this is a principal agent relationship. Shareholders are the principals and management is the agent. Now, it is quite likely that the interests of the management and the shareholders, that is, the interests of the agents and the principals, are in conflict with each other. For example, shareholders want that the managers manage the company in such a way that company earns a profit and the share prices go up. But management might have the incentive to let's suppose expand the business empire, and they do this by costly mergers and acquisitions. Now, this of course increases the companies and their worth as directors, but it might not be good for the share price. Share prices might go down if the mergers and acquisitions are not well thought out. So this is in conflict between the two. Shareholders are looking at short term gains, whereas management is looking at short term gains, whereas shareholders are more interested in long term performance and share prices. Now, how do you address this agency principal agent conflict and the allied concept of agency cost? Now, one way is to monitor the agents. Now, you try to monitor that whether agents are doing their job good or not. So in case of public limited companies, what shareholders do is that they appoint the board of directors who oversee the management, and they report to the shareholders, the board of directors, that whether the management is performing well or not. Another example is that when the shareholders appoint the auditors of the company. Now, the auditors look into the financial statements and they give a report as to whether the management has performed the company good or bad, and whether they have disclosed things to the shareholders accurately or not. So this is when principal agent conflict is reduced through monitoring the agents. Another way is to align the interests of the agents and the principal. An example of this in modern day companies is when the pay packages, that is compensation of management, is more allied to shareholders, in the way that if the company performs well, the management gets share options and shares. So now the management has the interests aligned with the shareholders. That is, if the managers manage the business well, the share prices will go up, and of course they will get compensation in shares. So their interests in the share and the interests of shareholders are aligned. So this is how you reduce principal agent conflict. And principal agent or agency cost is when you try to resolve the principal agent conflict, you incur costs. For example, when you appoint the auditors, then that is costly for you. When you appoint board of directors, that is costly for you. And when you try to give compensation to managers in the form of shares, that also costs you, because shareholders have to give the shares out of the total shares which they own. So agency cost arises as a result of principal agent relationship or principal agent conflict. I hope this video was useful, and if you like the video, do subscribe to the channel and give us a thumb up, and don't forget to share the video. Thank you.